I'm not looking to fit into anyone's anything. When I talk about being unreasonable in my reclamation, I'm talking about, I'm talking about this holy refusal to shrink. Hi, it's Ashe. Welcome to our space. I'm sitting in my kitchen doing one of the things I love to do best lately, which is talk with you. So let's jump into it. Last week, we started the conversation around reclamation and resilience. And we talked about how those terms differ, right? Like how resilience is more about enduring, withstanding pressure, that is about the ability to pivot in the face of or because of harm. It is also that pressure that we get from the outside and often sometimes the pressure that we put upon ourselves. And yet reclamation is different. It's about coming home to self. It's about returning to oneself, returning to one's truth, returning to one's wholeness and fullness. It's not about what the world demands, but it's more about what your soul deserves. And so we explored that. And so as we get a little bit deeper this week, because I'm going to talk about my own reclamation. One of the things that I have become abundantly clear is that it's not just about returning, but it's about identifying what's worth returning to. Because not every relationship, not every role, not every situation needs to be reclaimed. Many things need to be left behind in the past. And so taking this moment to be very intentional about what one is claiming and reclaiming is so critical at this point. And so for myself in this season, it's not just about reclamation. It's about being unreasonable in my reclamation. And I'm using that word intentionally. You know, reasonable or unreasonable has that tonality, that energy of being defiant, right? That edge of defiancy. And so I'm actually playing into that. I'm leaning into that because when we look at the definition of unreasonable, it talks about something that is not logical, something that is not reasonable, something that is unacceptable, something that needs justification, all those things that I am not at all claiming in this moment. I'm actually leaning into the opposite because in this moment, I've decided that in this season of being unreasonably reclaiming myself, it means not being diminished by someone else's logic or logic model. It means not being cornered into someone's comfort zone. It means that I don't need your justification. I don't need your consensus, and I dang sure don't need your permission. And so in this moment of being unreasonable in my reclamation, I'm absolutely claiming what it is that aligns with me at this moment, at this time. And here's the thing. It may not be convenient for anyone. In actuality, it may not even be convenient for me. I was talking with God and I was like, I don't know if this is the most convenient. I said, God, you said this is right on time, but it don't feel convenient. And God was like, when something is right on time, it doesn't mean it's always going to be convenient, Ashe. And so I was like, yes. When something is right on time, it doesn't always feel convenient, especially not in the moment until you get better understanding and clarity and insight. And so, yes, when we are talking about reclamation, it may not feel convenient for others. And so therefore, it might come across as being too much, too big, too soon, because it doesn't fit according to their timetable. It doesn't fit into the relegations and guardrails of their definition of what is logic or reasonable. It doesn't fit. And that's the whole thing. I'm not looking to fit into anyone's anything. When I talk about being unreasonable in my reclamation, I'm talking about, I'm talking about this holy refusal to shrink, to be diminished, to be disregarded to fit in someone else's comfort zone. I'm talking about the power of sacred audacity that breaks the reasonable rules that was never meant for me anyway. Those reasonable rules that were designed to keep one small, to keep one quiet, to keep one waiting. I'm talking about one's ability to stand in the holy unwillingness. To stand in the holy unwillingness and to reject every agreement, to reject every boundary, to reject every system, to reject anything and anyone that requires one to shrink, to minimize, and to disregard the holiness of themselves, the sacredness of themselves, the beauty of themselves. That's what I'm talking about. And so, yes, I'm in this season of unreasonable reclamation. It's bold. It's not logical. It's instinct-led, but more importantly, it's God-led. And guess what? It ain't looking for anyone's permission. I'm not looking for anyone's permission. And so my season of unreasonable reclamation is the holy refusal, is the sacred audacity, is the ability, the commitment to stand in unholy unwillingness, because I am rejecting all things that don't align. That is my unreasonable reclamation. So here's my question for you. Where are you being called the most to be unreasonable in your life? To be in that space of holy and sacredness for yourself? Where are you being called to no longer diminish your not just your light, your breath, your depth, your love for yourself? Where are you being called to be unreasonable in your reclamation? Don't overthink it. I'm serious, like right now, write it down. If you don't have anything to write it down, I want you to talk it into your memo app. If you don't have that, I want you to put it on your note app on your phone, because I know y'all got a million apps on your phone. I know that. So I want you to right now just sit with it and ask, where am I being called to be unreasonable, and write it down. And if you open, I love to hear it. I love to hear from you. I love to hear where that has taken you in terms of your thought process and where you're being called. Let me know. All right. See you next week.